October Red is sponsored by SA Security. Maximum security, minimum fuss.
Hey, it's quick succession, quick turnaround. I was going to go live, so welcome back. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. It's Abs of October Red. Yeah, it's another review, quick turnaround. Ben Shalom has just gone on to TalkSport, the breakfast show. I took some notes, had a listen to what he said. I'm just going to go through the points with you and a couple of questions that I've got myself that hopefully when I see him I can ask him, or if any YouTube outlet or any media's listening to this, I'm sure they'll probably ask similar questions themselves. So yeah, before I go on, I will like to say that I'm proudly sponsored by SA Security UK. Maximum security, minimum fuss. I'm actually enjoying saying that. So shout out to my sponsors. You took the plunge. And boy oh boy are we advertising, because we're definitely pushing that content out. The comments are coming thick and fast on the previous video. So let's see what this one brings. If you're here, go and listen to the first one first and then come back. This is the Boxer BBC broadcast deal review part 2. Right, let's get into it. So Ben Shalom on Boxer this morning. So the key announcements: Boxer signs multi-year exclusive free-to-air partnership with BBC Sport that's going to be broadcasting. He's mentioned world-class professional boxing will return to Saturday night primetime on BBC One, with events also available on the BBC iPlayer. So I'm presuming the iPlayer is before the bell, and the main 2.5 hour slot he's got before, obviously, you know, these world-class fighters that he talks about. So that's what I'm going to presume. So kind of like the Wasserman thing with Channel 5, but we're doing it on BBC One. First fight card and BBC presenting team, like he said, will be announced in the coming weeks. Significance for the boxing. Now, I did some research. Remember in video 1, I was trying to find who else is on BBC for boxing, and it said it's the first time in 25 years BBC will broadcast professional boxing into prime time. Like I said, I don't watch BBC, so I don't know if there's any like small hall shows or whatever. So it's been 25 years. So hence the significance of it. He sees it as an historic moment for the sport, aims to create household names and grow the sport's reach. You've got 14.1 million, as we discussed in video 1, terrestrial, free to air, but we're gonna go into that in a little bit later on. Boxing is now recognised by the BBC as one of its crown jewel sports alongside football, Wimbledon, cricket, etc. So I take it they're going to treat it as a prime time and fit it in and around those sports to get those extra eyes on it. Fine, that's marketable. That's definitely marketable. Definitely can give the reach. 100% agree with that. I'll lead into the audience reach and accessibility. You bring boxing to all audiences without subscription costs. Aim at younger viewers, they've said this, and those who can't afford pay-per-view. Interesting. Going to cover that again. Provides visibility for up-and-coming fighters to reach millions before transitioning to pay-per-view level. It's a slightly conflicting statement there. Major arena shows, he's mentioned that he's going to be all over the place. Manchester, you know, London, Birmingham. So he's still got the same theme. Still going to be travelling up and down the country. That hasn't changed. Pay-per-view events will still happen for marquee fights. Now remember, this has been sold as free to air, but we'll go back because that's part of the questions that I've got. So Ben goes in to say that he didn't think that this was something that was possible, and he believes it's vital for building the next generation of British boxing stars, an ethos that is carried straight from Sky. That's nothing new. Says it will create entertainment out of the sport and help boxing compete with other sports for mainstream attention. I get it. Like you said, you've got the football, you've got the cricket, the Wimbledon, you've got all of that covering it, and boxing is now becoming a part of that. They're going to intrinsically link boxing into that to make it like the home of a sport. So the ethos, the idea, it works 100% with that. But I've got someone that answer questions, and this is me being me. Excuse me. And these are the questions that I was hoping I'd get answered, but to be fair, I knew it wouldn't. But TalkSport shows an affiliation to Boxer, so they're not really there for the tougher questions, are they? And we've seen that before. So the questions that I've got, and the viewers may have as well: which fighters will actually be on the BBC cards? Not clarified which Boxer stable fighters will appear regularly on the BBC, and which will remain on the iPlayer. Also, which events are going to be pay-per-view. So, but I beg to differ. Is it truly free to air if pay-per-view events remain? How is it still? What is it? Like I said, I said that in video 1, to make up the pay, to make up the numbers, to be able to cater for these stars, there's going to have to be a pay-per-view element, and I wasn't sure how that was going to work. So we'll see what happens there. The big fights might still be behind a paywall, creating a contradiction with the free-to-air announcement. Will that have an impact on pay-per-view prices? What are the prices going to be? You know, we're working around the $19.99 to $24.99 mark in the UK. Where are we going to be with that? Also, will it affect ticket prices? Well, you know, because Sky Sports, when they were with Boxer, they've been known to like sell like £25 tickets, £40 tickets, etc., etc. Will this also have a knock-on effect on the gate prices, the ticket prices? There's no answer on whether the BBC deal will make event tickets more affordable or more expensive. It's a bit of a deep dive, but it's just questions that I'd like to be answered. Another key thing, we've said it there, it's Saturday night. How are they going to deal with the clashes with the other promoters? You're looking at, like he said, he's coming in behind potential football, behind other sports, using that as a caveat to introduce the new viewers into his fighters, into his shows. Now we talk about clashes. We're dealing with DAZN. When we talk about Queensbury, we talk about Matchroom. Their fights are they're scheduled around each other. They work. Are there going to be spare weekends? How many fights per year is Ben Shalom going to be airing on BBC? Those questions haven't been answered. Those are the questions that we'd like the answers for. And are they going to do that clever scheduling? Is Ben going to get his public relations, whatever it is, scheduling person to contact Queensbury, to contact or contact DAZN? Or a BBC going to contact DAZN to say, hey, we're looking at these dates for the future. Is that potentially going to clash with yours? And the only reason why I'm saying this is so we get a fair view of boxing, so we can all watch all of the shows. So yeah, so those are some of the questions that remain. It looks like they won't show the undercards on the main BBC. They'll be on the iPlayer, like a kind of before the bell, which is still good for some of the undercard fighters. They'll still get that publicity. So on the whole, sounds good. Nice, good sales pitch from Ben there. Like I said, I knew he'd go to certain channels first, just to get it out there, just to get everyone to get the feelers for it. They will be doing something around the launch, which I said they would in video 1. We're just going to have to hang fire and see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening once again. If you're watching both, this is part 2 of the BBC and Boxer broadcast deal. I'm Abs of October Red, proudly sponsored by SA Security UK. Maximum security, minimum fuss. And as we say, stay ready, leave your thoughts, let us know what you think. The full interview is available on TalkSport. I don't know if they're probably going to put that on a replay It was live. So yeah, let's see what happens. All the best to Ben Shalom and Boxer.
October Red is sponsored by SA Security. Maximum security, minimum fuss.